Don't stress, live life one day at a time. Don't drink or drug and you'll be fine.
Welcome back to Staying Sober with Papa Joey. Today we're going to continue with the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. My take of the 12 steps. Today we're going to do steps 10, 11, and 12. We're going to be finishing them up. So let's get right to it. Step number 10, continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Number 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. And number 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all of our affairs. Now, these 3 steps are pretty redundant. We've already did the personal inventory that they're asking us to do in step 10, in step 4 and 5. There's a 4, we made the inventory, and 5, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to a person the exact nature of our wrongs. Do we need to keep doing that? Yes. But is it mandatory if you do something wrong that you quickly go and apologize to somebody? It's a good idea, but will you get drunk over it? I don't think so. Basically, these last 3 steps is what we've already done. Up in the steps 4 and 5, we did an inventory, and then when we were wrong, we went and tracked down the people that we owe an apology to, and hopefully we apologize to them. They don't accept our apology, well, that's okay. We did say it. But I've always said this, that none of these steps are going to keep you sober. The only thing that will keep you sober is if you don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. Just because you did something wrong and you want to apologize for it, that's a good thing. Is that going to stop you from picking up a drink if you really wanted to drink? I don't think so. I believe, and I've always believed this, if a person truly wants to stay sober, they will stay sober. If a person truly never wants to pick up a drug again, they won't pick up a drug, no matter what goes on in their life. And that's how I've always lived my life from day one. For me was, I'm not drinking again. I'm done. And I've stayed that way, as I said, I'm going on 32 years at the end of this August 2024. You got to keep that in mind. You can do all this stuff like 12 steps suggest, but the important thing is, no matter what, you can't put a drink or a drug in you. Now, number 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. Now, this gets into the religious aspect of AA that I never approved of. They say it's not a religious program, it's a spiritual program. They're just mincing words. I believe anytime you tell somebody to follow our way of life, follow our way of thinking, kind of got a little religious overtones to it. But anyways, your personal relationship with God or His Son Jesus Christ or your higher power, whatever, is your business. It's not mine and it's nobody else's. I used to hear all the time in the rooms of AA that people would brag about how they prayed. I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I hit my knees and I ask God to keep me sober. And then throughout the day, I'm constantly asking God, please, keep me sober. I'm going into this place, I'm a little nervous, so please, God, make it so, afterwards I don't pick up a drink again. And these are from people who've been sober for a long time. And I've always wondered, what is it that these people don't understand about their responsibility about not picking up a drink or a drug? It's always been difficult for me to listen to somebody who has a lot of sobriety, they say, but yet they're begging God all the time to keep them sober. I don't think those people have a clear understanding what their responsibility is regarding their own sobriety. I don't beg God to keep me sober. I'm thankful that I am sober, but I do understand how this works. God says, Joey, I'm giving you free will. Now remember, you can make good choices or you can make some bad choices, but no matter what, those choices are yours, and whatever consequences come your way, well, you've got to deal with them. So when I constantly hear people begging God to keep them sober, I'm just wondering what God they're talking about, because I think of, my God is a loving God, and I don't think I have to beg him to help me make the right decision. He's already given me that power to make the right decision. Unfortunately, sometimes I make the wrong ones, but that's on me. It's not on him. But again, your spirituality is your business. It's nobody else's, and I'd rather just keep it that way, so I'm not going to tell you how to do anything regarding how you pray to your higher power, or in my case, God and Jesus Christ. Now, finishing up with step 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Now, having had a spiritual awakening, here's where they want to make it seem like it's so grand that, we finally get the message, like we can't drink, right? Don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what, no matter what. Was it a spiritual awakening? My spiritual awakening was actually my last drunk, when I realized I'm done, I can't do this anymore. And that's it. I didn't do any steps. I didn't get down on my hands and knees and say, please stop me from drinking. I can't do this anymore. Please, please. I accepted the fact that once again, I screwed up because I had alcohol in me, and I'm done. It's over. I can't do it. The next day later, I walked into a room with Alcoholics Anonymous. Now, the only reason I went to AA, and I've shared this before, was that I knew somebody who had 10 years of sobriety, and they said they went to AA. So I figured, what the hell? But I knew walking into those doors on the first day, I was done. But I was willing to listen to people and, see what it had to offer. Did I think I was going to stay there too long? I can't answer that. But when I went there, I kind of liked it. It was only an hour out of my day. From the very first day, I met a couple people that I liked, and the group seemed very friendly. So I said, what the hell? Why not keep going back? It's no big deal. Also, about this, we carry the message to other alcoholics. That's the religious part again. That's not my job to go out and talk to everybody who drinks or who I think may be an alcoholic. Once again, that's me judging somebody. Now, I put these videos on my channel in order to possibly help somebody make their own decision. And if they're going through a difficult time, hopefully, if they hear somebody just, lay it all out for them. The only way to stay sober, you don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. Yeah, you got to change up your life a little. You got to make better choices. Now, I worked in the bar business. I think I was sober 2 years before I went into the bar business and stayed there for about 8 years. So every day I saw people drink, and I had my regulars who drank a lot. Mostly all of them knew I didn't drink because there was always somebody say, hey, give Joey a drink. And I tell them, no, thank you. And once in a while we'll get into a discussion. I just tell them I don't drink, and that's it. But if they approached me and said, hey, I think I have a drinking problem, can I talk to you privately? I would always talk with somebody. But I never went up to anybody and said, I think you need to stop your drinking. I think it's out of control. Now, if they were in my bar and they got a little too intoxicated, my bartenders know we stopped them. And there were many nights that I would pay for somebody to get home safely because I didn't want them to drive. So going back to, I need to take the message to other alcoholics, no. I'm not going to go looking for somebody to preach to them. That's not what I signed up for when I walked into AA, and that's not what I was going to do. Getting sober is a really personal decision. Now, going back to all these steps, right, they're all good. There's nothing wrong with them. But we've already done these steps in our own way, and I've said that before. If you ever got drunk and you realize, man, once I put that first drink in me, I can't stop. I want more and I want more. Dude, that's just step one. You already admitted that time and time again when you know you just can't have one drink. As far as, number two, you came to believe a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. No, I don't. I never thought that. Still don't think that at the moment. If you're a religious person, yeah, there might be times where you get down on your hands and knees and say, God, can you help me? Maybe sometimes you listen to your prayer, because to me, if you're praying, help me, help me, help me, you're already saying you need help. If you're praying, don't let me pick up a drink or pick up a drug, you're already telling yourself you don't want a drink, you don't want a drug, so don't do it. This nonsense, this idea of thinking that other people have to get you sober and help you stay sober is crazy. Get that right out of your mind. It's up to you to stay sober. It's up to you to get sober. And yes, sometimes it's uncomfortable. We want to go back to our old behavior. We want to go back to something that worked for us in the past, but we already know what that's going to bring us, a lot of heartache. So no, you can't do that. Getting sober, yeah, all these support groups and everything are great, don't get me wrong. AA was great for me when I first started, but they were just people out there. My sobriety stems from me understanding why I shouldn't have put alcohol in me, and that's it. And that's what you have to do. And all these other steps are great. Apologizing to people, awesome. What's the other one? Asking God to remove our shortcomings, that's never going to happen in my opinion. If you're trying to get sober and you're having a tough time with it, and you've never walked into an AA room, go check it out. I'm not pushing AA, just go check it out. There's always somebody there that'll talk with you. There are times where they have some really good discussions in the meetings. Other times, I used to walk out because they were boring. And again, I understood that whatever happened in those meetings had nothing to do with me getting sober and staying sober. I already got it. I just enjoyed going to them and getting involved with some of the conversations. And while I was there, if there was something that was bothering me regarding these steps or anything else they preached about in AA, yeah, I would bring it up. I'm going to end the podcast now, but early on in sobriety, I hated when I heard that word alcoholic or addict. Now, they didn't say addict too much in the room because I was in AA, not NA. But from day one, I hated that term alcoholic. And they wanted you to raise your hand and go, I'm Joey and I'm an alcoholic. I did that out of respect for the other people in the room. But down deep inside, I hate that word. I still hate the word. I don't think anybody should label themselves an alcoholic or an addict. We abused alcohol, abused drugs, but that's not who we are. That was something that we did. You're much more than an alcoholic or an addict. The only way you're going to find that out is by putting down the drink and the drug and to start living a sober life. You have to be the one that understands for whatever reason why you shouldn't put alcohol in you. That's it. For me, it's simple. I can't have one drink because I want my buzz, and when I get the buzz, I'm off to the races. I already know that. And I've known that now for 31 plus years. That's why I never picked up. When I heard people say they had a relapse, they had a slip, in the back of my mind, I always say, bullshit. You made a choice to pick up a drink or a drug, and then whatever happened, happened, but it wasn't a slip, it wasn't a relapse. You made a choice, and it's your right to make that choice, but you got to live with the consequences. So that's going to end these 12 steps. Once again, do I think you have to do 12 steps to get sober and stay sober? No, I don't. That's it. There's going to be people that will disagree, especially people who go to AA. They'll say something like, well, you're probably not a real alcoholic then, whatever that means. Or you have to have a spiritual connection in order to get sober. And no, you don't. I know plenty of people who got sober and they white-knuckled it. They don't believe in God or a higher power, and that's their business. I'm not going to tell anybody what they need to believe, but they're sober. And I don't judge anybody's life based on if they drink or use or not. That's not up to me. I have my own faults, they have their faults, and we all try to do the best we can. So that's going to take care of the 12 steps. And make sure you like and subscribe, if you will, so I can keep putting these videos out there. Hopefully they reach to somebody that needs some help. Until the next time, remember, don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. And it's your story that'll keep you sober, just like my story keeps me sober. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Think about your serenity. Be grateful for your sobriety.